Hi, I am your host this evening, Dougie. Welcome to the second episode of Down Under Gaming. We have a great show planned tonight featuring Mega Bad Seed, Smiley Police Stick Figure, and also a special guest, Director and Editor-in-Chief for Real Game Media, a very special guest, Bella Ryse, and of course myself, Dougie. Over to you.
Wow, thanks for that, Dougie. Nice intro, man. Yeah, so Dougie's just introduced the team, but yeah, just quickly go through you guys. So obviously we've got Mega Bad Seed. What's going on?
Hey buddy, how are you? Good to be here once again. Second episode. Nice.
Yeah,
good to be with some good people.
That's it. And Smiley, what's going on, mate?
Not much, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good, man. You did a good job last week, so thanks for coming back. And I probably should have said ladies first, but yeah, definitely.
Well, you already did.
Right. Did I? Yeah, okay. So Bella Ryse, what's going on?
Well, firstly, I would just like to say, Doug, seriously, Real. No, it's real. And Ryse, it's Ryse. But yeah, it's great to be here.
Well, Doug was sorted. I did
Real,
speech therapy with him before the show, but right before the show, something happened. And
Doug sounded like he learned English today from someone in Czechoslovakia.
Doug's all right. Leave Doug alone. He's
Poor
the
Doug.
backbone of this.
Well, Real
podcast.
is Spanish, so he's Spanish.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Real
English,
Madrid.
Spanish. No, Doug's all right. Leave Doug alone.
Yeah,
He's me bro. So, yeah, that's cool. So, Mega, anyway, what games have you been playing the last week?
Oh man, mainly Fallout Shelter and a bit of Call of Duty. So Fallout Shelter dropped a few days ago, I think, and I played it heaps on the iPad, and I knew what it was all about. So I thought I'll pick it up, play it on a full screen TV. It's pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
So lots of fun. I'm not like Bella, like she played Fallout 4 to death, but I never played Fallout 4 at all. So, but I like Fallout Shelter. I think Fallout Shelter's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I played on the phone, so
yeah,
it's pretty much the same game. Is it on the phone, or is it? Or you wouldn't know?
Practically the same. Yeah, I don't think there's much different content in there at all. I think, although I haven't played on the phone for a little while because I got my shelter got hammered by some big dudes and I lost everyone, so I just stopped playing it. But then when it came out on Xbox, I thought, but a few things had changed. There was a lot more newer content in there, so I guess that's in the mobile game as well now. So
yeah, okay.
But yeah, lots of fun. It's a game you can sit there for 10, 15, because I can't sit down and play for like 3 or 4 hours straight half the time. So play for 10, 15, 20 minutes, half hour or something, and then jump off. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. Yeah. And Smiley, what have you been up to, mate?
I've just been playing Halo as usual.
Yeah, okay.
Supposed to what I've been playing.
Yeah,
just that.
Cool. And that's that. Well, man, that's enough.
Yeah, that's all I need.
And how about you, Bella? I left you last again. That's pretty rude of me. So, but anyway.
All right, so I'll break it down into platforms. On Xbox One, I've been playing a lot of Gears of War 4 Horde. Absolutely love Horde mode. It's so much fun. And I have more and more people that I'm converting over to buying an Xbox lately. So I just have like a stupid number of people that I have to play Gears 4 Horde with. Been playing NHL on Xbox lately and Madden. Been loving the crap out of that. Been playing NBA Jam on backwards compatibility. Recently bought a game called Dovetails UK Vision Fishing something. And it's great because I love fishing games. So I've been playing a lot of that on Xbox. Been trying to get my 1000 on This War of Mine. And a couple of other little games. On PlayStation, what I'm spending the majority of my time on at the moment since it just came out is Nioh. I'm not sure if any of you Xbox have heard about Nioh.
Yeah,
but
I think it's Neo.
Yeah.
No. It's actually pronounced Nioh, but that's fine. So for anybody who isn't familiar with it, it is a very Dark Souls kind of Bloodborne-esque type game, but it's more of it has more of a Japanese persuasion where you're playing as a samurai who evidently happens to be from Spain. So it's a lot of fun. It's very difficult, but it's really good. I'm also playing this war of mine over there as well because I'm trying to get my platinum on that. Playing a bit of NBA 2K, WWE, a lot of games. I'm playing a lot of games, so let's leave it at that.
Wow. And in between spider bites.
In between spider bites and an actual paying job. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I've just been playing Halo. Just so I'll know that again.
Yeah.
I like Fallout Shelter, guys.
Jesus, we're pretty exciting, aren't we? I mean, I think I've only been playing one game too. I've basically been playing Rainbow Six Siege, like the amount of times I could play in the last week. So, yeah, I'm pretty boring. But yeah, it's a good game, Rainbow. So, I just like it. So I'm pretty easy to please, But Bella, variety is the spice of life, as they say. So, well done. Yeah, cool. So anyway, I think Doug wants to chime in. He wants to know a little bit about us too. So let's see what Doug's got to say.
Yeah, let's see what Doug has to say.
Just out of interest, tell me guys if you prefer single or multiplayer gaming, either co-op or competitive. Do you think single player is still an important part of gaming? Myself personally, though, I like single player games. I think the industry would be able to survive without them. What I think. So go on ahead. I'm sure your answers will be far more interesting than mine. Just saying.
Wow, Dougie, he's getting a little bit of an attitude already. But there you go. Dougie wants to know what kind of games you like, or multiplayer.
Ladies first this time.
Ladies first. Let's go. I think
Oh, you're talking to me, not Mega?
Oh,
that's what you get for being late.
Bella, are you still touchy about me kicking your ass in Call of Duty all those times? Or what?
Oh, that one time it never happened. Yeah.
I think I topped the lobby in plenty of Advanced Warfare games. Come on.
Yeah, but that was on your mobile phone. It's different. So anyway, in response to the question, both multiplayer and single player games are always going to have their place in the industry. There are going to be games that you can only get a certain experience out of playing by yourself, and there are going to be other games that are only as exciting or as exhilarating when you're playing with other people. So two prime examples that I've played recently that are single player and multiplayer that have just been amazing experiences. So Final Fantasy 15, for example, that is a single player game that in 3 weeks I put in over 200 hours, got my platinum, and actually still have on record the biggest fish caught in the game. Like, that is a game that I just absolutely delved into, and it didn't matter that it was a single player game because I was in a party with my other friends that were playing the exact same game, and we were helping each other with it. Then you have experiences like, so NHL, for example, which is like a very fast-paced, and whoever's listening back to the podcast, you should probably pause it. Yeah. So you have these other games like, NHL and Call of Duty, Battlefields, Overwatch, games like those, that when you have a group of friends online and you're all playing together, you're working as a unit, you're coordinating, you're talking together as a team and actually implementing strategies, and you get that win, like, that's one of the most amazing feelings ever. So there's always going to be a place for both, not to mention the fact, and more importantly, given that this is an Australian podcast, the fact that as Australians, we tend to suffer from some very poor internet, which means that sometimes we aren't always able to join people, or we can join them, but we have a very laggy experience, which actually negatively affects the game that we're playing and the experience that we get out of it. So being able to play a game and still enjoy your gaming experience, but be able to chill in a party with your friends online is very important. Particularly like today, for example, Sony PlayStation 4 network went down for an hour right before.
No way.
What's it called? For Honor. Right before For Honor was about to go live from Ubisoft. I'm like, well, there's an Ubisoft.
Greatness awaits, people.
But hey, come on, Microsoft goes down just as often as what Sony does. It's 6 of one, half of the other. But when that happened today, like I was able, all of my friends that we were playing on Sony, we were able to go over to Xbox and we were able to play, NHL and all these other games on there and have a great time playing these multiplayer games. And then when the server came back up, we went back over to PlayStation and we all, in a party together, played our single player game of Nioh. So I think they're both equally as important.
Yeah, I got to agree as well with Bella there. I think, like myself, I'm probably more of a multiplayer guy, but man, there's nothing better sometimes than sitting back and just going through campaign after campaign. You get tired of a bit of multiplayer after a while, and you just want to immerse yourself in those worlds that you like. And I'm a big fan of Halo, like Call of Duty, those sort of casual sort of games, I suppose. But a good single player, I pretty much wouldn't buy a game unless it had both formats in the game, multiplayer and it would take something pretty special to buy it just for campaign. Nioh looks pretty. I've seen some of the clips and stuff, and it looks like something that I'd have a bit of an interest in myself. Same with Horizon, looks pretty good. I haven't seen much of it myself, but games like that would drag me into just a campaign-only game. So I think, pretty much like Bella, I think both are critical. I think you've got to have both. I'll probably do spend more time on multiplayer, than campaigns. But like I said, there's nothing better than going back to a campaign and just spending weeks on one game and just playing campaigns, mopping up achievements, going through the story again. So I love it.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll say for me, I don't really play single player games at all.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in it. I'll probably get Mass Effect, but other than that, I'm just not. If it doesn't have co-op or multiplayer, I usually don't bother picking it up. I'm just not interested in stuff like that. Yeah, I like playing with my friends. Sometimes we'll play a game at the same time or something, but usually I just only play multiplayer and co-op because that's just what I like to do. And I game share with a good mate of mine, so he plays way more single player than me, but we like to pick up the co-op and multiplayer stuff so we can play together and with all the people I know and stuff like that. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as you, man. Like, I buy single player games, but I never play them. I could play them for an hour or two and check them out and go back to multiplayer. But, like, as far as single player goes, I think, as games are getting better and better, I think the single player games will get better and better. Like, multiplayer can only go so far. All you can do is improve the graphics and that. But the gameplay side of multiplayer, there's not a lot you can do, really. Like, it's just always going to be shooters and, better graphics and that. With single player, the developer can he can do whatever he wants to do, and
I wouldn't necessarily agree on that, because like there's a lot of games that if they were just co-op would be like so much better. Yeah, I imagine if like The Witcher was co-op or something like that, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely even Fallout 4. If that could
but do you think that if they focused part of their development team on making The Witcher co-op, that wouldn't detrimentally affect the amount of side missions and the size of the world and just how epic and experienced a game like The Witcher is, because they're then diverting resources to another area of development?
It might do, but The Witcher's so massive that if they trimmed a little bit of the fat, I wouldn't be too upset.
Yeah, but it's true. Like Fallout 4, for instance, people said one that as a.
Before you go on, did you play? How much of The Witcher did you play before you say that you wouldn't be too upset if they trimmed a little of the fat?
I put about 80 hours into The Witcher.
But I thought you just said you didn't play single player games. So actually, there is a point that you do enjoy them.
I rarely play single player games.
So there is a point that you do enjoy them.
It has to be something special, like The Witcher, which was an amazing game, even though I got bored of it after a while, or like Mass Effect, or the new one, Cyberpunk. When that comes out, I'll probably pick that up. It has to be like a top tier single player game for me to even consider picking it up.
Fair enough. Each to their own.
I see Bella's point with The Witcher. If there was a co-op mode in that, or if the whole thing was co-op, you kind of feel like you couldn't experience the whole world at your own pace. You may be forced to sort of run through it a little bit quicker than what
it depends. It depends who you're playing with. Like my good mate Cobb, we kind of play the same. So when we play a game, like we run through Gears 4, we kind of play the same. We look around. We're kind of like, all right, let's go up here. Let's do this. If you're playing with a good person, even just one extra person can make such a difference. For me personally, it makes the game so much better to experience it with someone else.
Yeah, oh, there's definitely some advantages with playing co-op, but yeah, I think a game like The Witcher or in Fallout would be perfect for single, like just to stay at single player. That's just me personally, but just because there's so much to do and there's so much time you can invest into it, you probably want to sort of want to do it on your own, I think.
Yeah, so, I agree with that.
And I can completely understand why people would want games like that to have a co-op version. Like for the longest time when I was playing Final Fantasy 15, for example, I was like, oh my God, it'd be so great if like you could be Prompto. No, you have to be Prompto. I ain't being Prompto. You're being Prompto. And, you could have someone playing as everyone. And yes, I know that multiplayer is coming in, but I can understand that line of thinking where it would just be so great to play that game with your friends. But one of the most beautiful things about experiences like that is that you literally play it how you want, when you want. And it doesn't matter who you are playing with. If that person that's playing with you just is agreeing and going, all right, we'll do everything that you want to do and we'll go do this and we'll go do that, then they're losing out on that experience as well. And so that's why I think that it actually really is important that we have access to games like this that allow for us to control the entire universe and play things the way we want to play it, at the pace we want to play it, and when we want to play it.
Well, like with the games too, like as they improve, like I was sort of saying before, like as games improve, the AI and that in-game is going to be so good. It's going to be like playing with another person. Like, you know what I mean? You're basically like the characters in Fallout 4 and that, they talk to you and stuff, and they're pretty, you can tell they're obviously robots or they're just bots sort of thing. But eventually the games will be so good that you won't tell. You won't be able to tell. They'll be able to have conversations with you and shit. So all that sort of shit will happen in the future, right? Sure. You'll be playing a video game and it'll be talking to you through your headset, from what you say. So, which would be cool.
No. Yeah, certainly. Definitely. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think we covered that topic. Did we? Oh, thanks, Bella. That was really insightful.
Cheers.
All right. Well, what, Doug? Have you got something else for us, man, or what?
Oh, Doug.
Good old Doug. Thanks, Smiley, for not laughing at Doug too. I know you're holding yourself back. That's all right.
So, panel, over the last week, Fallout Shelter and GTA 4 have been big hits with the wider Xbox community. I'm interested in what you all think. Did any of you download the games?
Oh, we got a bit of a lisp there at the end. Did you see that? So yeah, obviously we know Mega, you downloaded Fallout Shelter. I know Bella. Smiley, what about you two?
I'm not interested in stuff like that.
Because apparently GTA 4 actually really sold. Sorry, Bella, to cut you off, but GTA 4 really sold really well.
The fact that you just confused my voice with Smiley's is concerning.
I was sorry for cutting you off. Like I didn't let you answer. But yeah, go ahead, Bella.
Okay, well, I didn't need to download GTA 4 because I've had it since it came out. Massive fan of Liberty City, and quite often when I play GTA 5, I get kicked that hard from online that I feel like I ended up in Liberty City. So the fact that it's backwards compatible is actually saving me time. I can just start there. So cool. I do enjoy a bit of GTA. I play on average anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 hours of GTA every year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I do love me some GTA. And one of the things about Fallout Shelter is while it's not on the top of the list of things that I think entertains me and games that I want to literally come home at night and play, it is one of those games where if you're sitting in a lobby with a whole heap of people that are just like, butt-assing around and taking forever to get organized, like, oh, I got to go get a drink. Oh, the baby's crying. And you're just like there for 15 minutes waiting for everybody to get ready. You load up a game like Fallout Shelter, you play it for a little minute. You don't end up having to suspend your game. It'll sit there, it'll wait. You can play it off, shut that down, go back. You're still sitting in the lobby ready for everybody to go. So a game like Fallout Shelter is awesome in that regard. And then there will always be people who actually do enjoy spending multiple hours on that, like my partner in crime, Christian Allen. Like he absolutely loves Fallout Shelter. He's played stupid hours on that game. It's not even funny.
I played on the phone, yeah. So It is a good game.
I find that.
Yeah, and if you own a Windows 10 phone and you're actually playing on that, then your progress can be carried over to the version of the game as well.
So if you've got a Windows 10 phone, you can play that game on the as Play Anywhere. So they've already bought phones into Play Anywhere.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting because that's.
You have to have a Windows 10 phone though. So
yeah, I know. But I reckon Apple. What about Apple? Like, are they going to jump on board with that, or they're just going to hate Microsoft?
Okay, so I'll reiterate: if you have a Windows 10 phone,
you did say that. You did say that. But in the future, I think Microsoft. You never know. Apple might jump on board. I just think as phones improve and laptops and all that sort of shit, Play Anywhere is a good feature because you can just Bluetooth your controller to it and you could play anywhere. So and like. I don't know how much data. What are the new iPhones got now? Like 32 gig of data.
It depends on which one you buy.
We can get.
You mean on storage?
What memory? Or?
Yeah, they get way more than that, man.
Yeah, 64, 120 something.
Yeah, 128.
128. So I mean, the storage is there. Whether it can operate a game or not like that, like say fucking Gears of War 4, I don't know, but. Down the track, maybe in a few years, definitely, I reckon mobile phones will be able to run a game like Gears of War 4. And you can just play it.
Down the track.
Yeah. Play it with your Bluetooth controller and play it wherever you are. So I'm hoping that's the way it goes because that'd be cool. Like if you're waiting,
I mean, the technology is there already. It's being utilized by Sony with their PS Vita and their cross-play games that you can play on at lunchtime and then come home and pick up and resume exactly where you left off. So, you know, the technology is there. It's available. It's just a case of waiting for these corporations to implement it so that we all have the ability to go out and buy things where we want to buy them instead of where we're directed to buy them because that's where the revenue is required at that time.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, there you go. So, yeah, I actually did download Fallout Shelter, but I haven't played it. It's like a really small download, so I just downloaded it while I was doing something else, but I'll probably play it. It would be really good if you could, like, you know, down the track, if you could play it in the background, like just have it up, you know, picture in picture with the Scorpio or the new operating system. But I actually tweeted Jez from Windows Central and said, do you reckon you'll ever be able to play games like that, you know, in the background or picture in picture? So while you're playing another game, he said he doesn't think so. He said no, basically. So, but I thought that would be cool. You know, while you're waiting for another game to start, you quickly just go onto your other little game in the background.
But that's effectively what you can do with Fallout Shelter. When you load that doesn't. So as you know, normally you switch from one game to the other, it will close one game down. When you load Fallout Shelter, it doesn't close that game down. So when you are sitting in a lobby and people are piss-assing around, and you're like, you know, friggin' hell, I'd love to be able to play something right now instead of sitting here waiting for everybody to feed their babies and take their dogs for walks. You can actually play Fallout Shelter and then instantly snap back to the game that you're playing. You're still sitting in the lobby with them.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. Now, for some reason, I think Dougie left. I don't know. He must have had the shits on. He obviously doesn't like GTA 4. He just dropped out of the whole fucking podcast.
You guys, I'm going home.
That's all right. Well, I don't know. Have you guys got a topic or anything that you guys want to bring up, or you just sort of I mean, I've got plenty of topics, but
I'm happy just to go off the list.
Yeah, for the list. I think Dougie's back, so just everyone relax. He obviously hasn't muted his mic. He actually lives in my house, Dougie. So, but yeah, that's cool. Well, Dougie's back, so you can ask another question. All right, here we go.
Boom. Headshot. Yeah, in my opinion, there is nothing better than a long-range headshot with an OP tactical sniper rifle. I want to hear what you guys think of Sniper Elite 4. It releases this week. I think it looks sick. Day one digital for me.
There you go. Dougie loves the headshot, don't we all? So Sniper Elite 4, he's really pumped for it, and so am I. What do you guys? Have you guys know much about the game, or like from what I know, basically, you know, it's going to have four-player horde mode, basically. You know, where you against.
Oh, nice.
It's going to have 2-player co-op, and I think it was 6-on-6 multiplayer. and it's not going to be just sniping. So I think from what I've heard, it's going to have like a bit of an Overwatch. You got people doing Overwatch and other people running and gunning. So
okay. Well, I'm glad you talked about it because I've got no idea what it's about. So, but the horde mode interests me. I love a bit of horde mode, so that could be a reason why I pick it up. Yeah.
Whether it's horde mode in its true sense or it's sort of, just basically, hordes of bots coming at you, but whether they sort of count down in, groups or they just keep coming, I don't know. But yeah, apparently you got to hold down the area and take out as many people as you can. So yeah, Sniper Elite 3, I had that. So apparently it's a massive improvement on that. And that wasn't a bad game. It won a lot of awards and stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that game. Obviously, the other sniper game's not going to do too well with me. I've heard that's shit. So what do you guys think anyway? Dougie's told me to shut up.
Sniper games aren't really my kind of thing. When it comes to multiplayer games, I'm more of a move as a team, strike as a team, more a close quarter combat kind of person. Whilst Sniper Elite does look good, and I can see why people who like to play that game style would really enjoy that game, I think for me that would be a purchase that would keep me interested for all of about 3 days. So that's something I'm going to pass on.
Yep, fair enough.
As per usual with the theme of my podcast this week, I'm not interested.
You're a Halo guy through and through.
Nah, there's just certain things I like, and I don't know. We'll see what my mate wants. If my mate wants to pick it up, maybe. But
what other games you guys is coming out in the next month or whatever?
Yeah, definitely Mass Effect. I'm really, really interested in Mass Effect.
I'll be going. Halo Wars 2. Yeah.
I was interested in what is it? Ghost Recon.
Yeah. Okay.
But everyone's kind of said it's like okay, so I might wait. No, I didn't play the beta. I watched the beta on Twitch.
Yeah.
I might wait to see what the review scores are and what people are saying about the final game before I make a decision on getting that.
I mean, if you look at the old Graw, like they did have sort of like a bit of an open world co-op campaign where you used to run around and take out like people, and they were just sort of standing around in the middle of nowhere. You'd go out and shoot them and then move on to the next group. So they sort of had that like little sort of an open world type game back then. You could go left, you could go right. It wasn't a massive map, but you basically went through the whole map and took out everyone on the map. But then there's no multiplayer in that game at the moment. So that's what disappoints me, because that, Ghost Recon had multiplayer as well with small little maps, sharpshooter. Yeah. They did have co-op too. They had missions. We actually had a mission to complete.
Yeah, but Wildlands has 4-player co-op. So, I mean, that's technically multiplayer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, not competitive multiplayer. So, Graw always had competitive multiplayer. It's got co-op, so that Graw had that, and it's got that sort of open world where you can walk around and go which way you want to go. It's got vehicles and stuff, which the old ones didn't have because they couldn't do it. But yeah, I'm just disappointed it doesn't have multiplayer.
Yeah, I guess the thing with Wildlands is it's not Graw. It's not Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter anymore. We've moved on to the next installment in the franchise, and we've now got Wildlands.
I want to bring that game back, just to fucking remaster it.
I don't know. It looks like Ubisoft is really kind of making Rainbow Six their main focus for their competitive multiplayer title.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, because it does have a lot of merit to it, and it is a great deal of fun. And if you can play with a group of people who know how to move together strategically and tactically, then you can rock that game. I think with Ghost Recon Wildlands, one of the major things that I've seen from that franchise at the moment is that they have another franchise that just doesn't seem to be as popular, which is, Far Cry. A lot of people like to play it for about 3 minutes. But Far Cry is actually amazing, and they've been able to take a lot of the graphical aspects of Far Cry and to a degree some of the game mechanics and integrate that into Wildlands. And so now they have Ghost Recon that appeals to people who generally would like to play something a little bit more gritty that is also very pretty. And this is where we've ended up with Wildlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix between Far Cry and I'd say The Division.
Yeah, and GTA.
Oh, it is definitely going to be the new Division. You know why? Because everyone's going to play Wildlands for about 3 weeks, just like they did The Division.
Exactly. And that's why I'm not buying it, because everyone's just going to stop playing it. It's got no multiplayer, and it's got, co-op multiplayer. It doesn't have competitive, so it's just going to get old.
It could be one of those games that, like, depending on release scores and stuff, I might pick up later on when there's like a bit of a downtime and jump on and play that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's right. It's one of those back burner games for me too, probably. But yeah, it's got a as far as like, I like GTA, and I played the beta as well, and I thought, it's like a slightly better version, like better combat version of GTA. It doesn't have the story like GTA does, and all the stuff going on with people on the streets and all that sort of stuff in the single player mode. But yeah, it sort of reminded me of GTA a little bit too, but just better, a little bit better. So, and GTA was a popular game, is still a popular game.
It still is in the top 10 most purchased games in the US 5 years after
Didn't they recently come out and say they've sold over 75 million copies, which is just ridiculous.
I've seen that too, yeah.
And they actually make more revenue out of people buying shark cards than what they do the game purchase. So, yeah.
What are they?
Just like every game these days.
What are shark cards?
It's just in-game currency, basically, man.
Just in-game currency?
And it's like, for example, it might cost you $250,000 to buy a yacht. Instead of having to grind out for a week to get that $250,000 doing missions and heists and stuff, you could go buy a shark card for like $1.25 million. And
yeah.
I don't understand. That game is just so popular. I just don't understand it.
I mean, I like the single player, but the multiplayer is just, to me,
I haven't liked GTA since San Andreas, and I thought San Andreas was like the best.
Yeah. I like the single player. I play the multiplayer, and I'm like, yeah, this is fun for a little while, but then I'm like, this is just getting, I don't know, like a little bit. I don't want to say the words I want to say. Not monotonous. It's just sort of like, it's a little bit immature. You know what I mean? Like we're driving around in cars. Yeah, look at us, and we're fucking flipping around and doing stuff. I don't see that as, to me, it's not fun. Like it's fun for a while, but then it's just sort of monotonous. Thanks, Noah.
You're welcome.
I would wonder what the demographic is, or like the age range of the people that play that a lot. I wonder how old those kind of people are.
Like 3 and 4. Like some parents are really
bad. Jesus, 3 and 4.
The kids, they let their kids play that game. They're like fucking 6 years old. Oh man, I was at the park a little while ago, and my son took me to the park, and there was these kids talking about GTA 4, and they were like fucking 8, and they were talking about the game. I'm like, man, and getting into depth about what they did to people, and it's crazy. Don't let your kids play those games.
I like doing
public service announcement.
I like flipping cars and motorcycles and jumping off in midair and stuff in that game. That was cool with friends.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Like it's the same with me. Like I like that too, but after a while, it's sort of like, okay. I sort of get a bit bored of it.
I think you need to have the right group of people in GTA. I mean, for example, with all the latest updates that they've added to it with the the stunt ramps and stunt parks and stuff that you can make, the businesses that you can have, that you can be a CEO of the bank, and then all the different stuff that you can do through that. I mean, you can end up with a 60-car garage, and then you get all these cars and you go sell them, and it's a massive thing. And you have all your team join you as members of your CEO corporation, and so they all help you get your deliveries made, and everybody gets paid. And then there's the biker club thing as well now, so you can do the biker club thing and have your meth labs, your coke shop, your forged documents. I mean, I play a little GTA, just a little GTA. So there's a lot of variety, and if you have the right group of people who've been playing it for a long time and have a big wealth of money in the game, they can set everybody up to the point where you have non-stop missions and deliveries and just a whole heap of fun that can be had that can only be done in public lobbies. Therefore, everything you do is visible on the radar. So you have all of these, assholes chasing you and blowing you out of the sky. And it's like, right, everybody, we're going to go and kill McLovin. And we're going to kill him 50 times, and we're not leaving here until it's 50 times we've killed him.
Well, I'm going to play GTA with you then, obviously. So that actually sounds half fun. But,
depending on who you play the game with and the way that you have yourself set up, it can be endless fun. But I can understand if you're somebody who only maybe has one or two friends that just play it recreationally, then it would get boring pretty quick.
Yeah, like everyone's flying around in helicopters and trying to steal the helicopters
out
of the army base.
With the cargo bob, and we get the yellow submarine, and then we bring it back in. We put it on top of Maze Tower, and then we get a whole heap of other cargo bobs, and then we all get minis, and we do circles around the cargo bob, and then we all slam into it at the same time, and everything blows up, and we all go flying, parachutes. It's awesome.
You need to start streaming that game. I'll fucking watch it. That's cool.
And did they clamp down on the scammers on that game? The people who
they went hard on that.
Yeah, I had a mate of mine who was getting some dudes would just give him money like millions of dollars, and all of a sudden he got reset down to nothing, and he has to start again.
Wow.
Money wise, anyway. Money wise.
Yep. Well, that's what they get. That's good.
Well, true. Yes, I'm all for that. So.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's microtransactions in that game, as well with that.
Well, there's no real necessity for it. If you are playing with a group of people who are set up, so you can be a member of their CEO or a member of their motorcycle club, or you go and do the heists with a group of people who know what they're doing and how to get through them really quickly.
The heists.
Then then there's no absolute need for microtransactions whatsoever, because you can build up easily like $250,000 in an evening. Not a problem at all.
Okay, yeah. That's the problem with some games. Yeah, they just take so long to grind out stuff. You're kind of forced to sometimes buy these things. So.
Well, I've got a few friends who play that, and they reckon that they're obviously structured that so you have to or don't have to buy shark cards, but they've sort of made it things like you were saying, Valley. You need to have people who know what they're doing, but if you don't, it sort of pushes you into buying those shark cards a little bit, which is.
Well, there's also the other side of it is you don't go and spend $150,000 on a tattoo that's never going to be seen in the game because you always wear a long sleeve shirt. Think about how you spend your money.
Well, that's true.
That's what
And but that's a good thing about the game. It is like that wealth thing too. You build yourself up from nothing. And that's why I like the single player. Making your way up in that sort of virtual world, and but I actually think, like I was saying, I think Recon could rival that as far as it's not exactly the same, but it's just got a little bit more fun factor in the co-op mode than GTA, which GTA used to be muck around and be silly, like you're saying, where on Recon it's a little bit more serious. You go in and you're organised, taking out people and stuff. So. Yeah, to me they're a little bit similar. So that's it. So we had a few games went forwards and backwards there. So back to GTA 5. So anyway, that's good.
Well, I'm pumped for Halo Wars 2 in a couple of weeks. If that makes any difference.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm not that pumped.
I'm kidding.
Halo.
I'm pumped at Jim Bella. Oh god, that's probably the only game I'm going to buy probably in the next 5 or 6 months.
5 or 6 months.
Did you play the last one?
Hang on. Let's back up. You're on an Xbox podcast, and the game you're going to spend your money on over the next 5 or 6 months, and this is in a nutshell the only game you're planning on buying is Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about Mass Effect?
We're all pretty similar.
What about Mass Effect?
Mass Effect never played one, so I'll probably.
Oh my god!
You know that shit's back compat, right?
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to spend the few dollars on the disc.
The $3.95, you need to go over to like EB Games and pick that up. Yeah, I get it.
It's in the vault, isn't it? The EA
Access. Bill, I've got hundreds of games on my hard drive I haven't touched yet, so my backlog is crazy. I'm not going to.
I think you can just get it in EA Access though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but I just don't have the time to play it.
I don't like playing.
He's happy being at the mediocre level of halfway up the leaderboard in Call of Duty every night.
Oh. As long as you don't mind being at the bottom, so me on top.
What's Doug's next question? I think we should move on from that.
We're moving on, Doug. Doug's batteries are going a bit low over there. He's looking a bit sad. So we better get back to Doug. But yeah, I'm just going to say, like, I think me, Smiley, and Mega, we're all pretty much the same. We sort of pick a couple of games and we sort of fucking stick to those. And like, I don't know, Bella, you must have a really good job because like I've got a fairly good job, but the amount of games you have, like, you must spend a lot of money on video games. So,
well, it just comes down to what you do in your life. I mean, I'm married with 2 kids and a wife who's not a gamer, so it's with family time comes over gaming. So that's why.
That's right. I've known a few people get divorces over video games.
And this is why I have 2 cats and a Xbox One S and a PlayStation Pro and PSVR, as opposed to kids. Because
have you got nieces and nephews? Because you'd be like the coolest auntie ever.
I have 3 nephews and they love me.
They would. I'd be like, can we go over to Auntie Bella's house? Let's go.
Yeah.
PSVR, they'd be blowing their fucking minds.
They're not allowed to use it.
Oh God, I played Resident Evil in PSVR. Holy shit!
Yeah,
like there were points in that game where like I literally like you could hear your heart beating in the game, and I could actually feel it beating in my chest at the same time. I'm like, that's cool. God, I'm gonna have a coronary.
I mean, I would definitely get VR for horror games. And, fighter pilot games, driving games, shit like that are going to be awesome for that sort of game. Like, there's certain games that would be good for that would be worth it just for one. People say, you can't buy VR for just a few games, but
yeah, you really can.
I think we spoke about last week, like just for an hour, jump on for an hour. Not for 3 or 4 hours. It's not really designed for that. But just to get on for an hour and just escape, I think it would be okay. So.
VR is awesome. Like you can even watch YouTube on your VR now. Like it doesn't have to be just restricted to playing games. But I mean, there are a couple of really awesome games on there, and one that does not get given. And I'll make this short because I know we need to move on to the next subject. But a game that doesn't actually get given enough praise is Rigs. So Mechanized Combat League. It is
we got Rigs.
Phenomenal.
We got Rigs.
We got Rigs.
Yeah.
Is so good.
I haven't seen that game, but yeah, I've heard about it.
I
went on a VR roller coaster at Dreamworld, Movie World. Sorry.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they got the Batman ride at Movie World's got VR. It was fucking pretty cool. The only problem is you're on a roller coaster, so the headset was sort of bouncing around a bit. So, but I just had both my hands holding the headset. I was like really getting into it. But yeah, it was a joker. Falling off skyscrapers and stuff, and it was fucking cool. So I've seen a video actually during the week of a pod that you sit in and it spins goes upside down and all that sort of stuff. And a guy with a VR headset, he's flying an air like a fighter pilot, and there was a guy in the car. It's like $40,000, but they reckon they will come to like amusement parks and that, where you sit in this like little pod and it turns when you turn left, it spins upside down. It does anything you want it to do. So that was pretty cool. I mean, VR's definitely got, obviously PlayStation brought it to the lounge room a little bit better, but, it's not going to go away entirely. So,
no, there are a lot more studios. Like even Warner Brothers now have announced that they're making titles specifically for VR. There are a lot more companies that are getting on board with that, and they've seen that even though there hasn't been a massive uptake in the standard average household, there has been enough people investing into these devices across the board, for Oculus and what's the one? Vive and all these other PSVRs and stuff like that. There's been enough people uptaking the purchase of these devices and actually investing in purchasing games on them, that they can see that there is a real future in VR. So that is something we know is going to be more of a standard very soon.
But the company that made rigs got shut down. So that kind of sucks.
The company that made rigs has not been shut down.
Gorilla Cambridge, they did rigs. They closed that studio.
They haven't actually closed that studio. What they've done is started up a new studio in conjunction with Kojima, who's making, the new game? Have you seen the new game that Kojima's making? Using the Decima engine that is a exclusive to them. They're reinventing themselves. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
That's probably why you didn't know that, but that's okay. I hear crickets again.
Has Doug got the next? Has Doug got a next question?
I was just going to say quickly, with VR, I think again phones are the future for VR, because if you look at them now, they've got a compass, they've got a level, so they know the phone knows exactly which way it's pointing, which way, if it's up and down and left or right or whatever. Plus, you've got GPS technology on phones, so it knows where you are. I don't know how accurate GPS is, if it's to the meter, but it sort of knows where you are. I reckon phones are going to be what everyone's got a phone already, so it's not like you have to buy the phone. You've already got a phone, so I reckon again phones will be the future of VR. But anyway, that's just my little theory. Could be totally fucking wrong. Doug probably said, "Shut the fuck up, Steve, and get on with it." But yeah, he is. All right, one sec. Doug wants to ask another question.
Now the ability to stream from Beam will soon be integrated into the Xbox's operating system panel. I'm interested in your thoughts on this feature. I'm also wondering, do you think that Beam is something the opposing console owners should envy?
Oh, sorry guys, I just fell asleep. Yeah, so stream is what do you ask us, Doug? Tell us again. No, don't do that. Yeah, so to stream from Beam is operated into the operating system.
Has anyone tried this?
Yeah,
I watched Randall Thor playing. It looked really good. He was playing Rainbow Six. I was in the chat, so
it's
looked really clear.
They say it's much more responsive than Twitch. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
the delay, if you're watching it, is a lot less than on Twitch. Because as you know, sometimes you're 10, 15 seconds behind what's actually going on.
And I always found Twitch really laggy. Not laggy, sorry, really unclear. The quality of the stream and everything. I mean, it could depend on who's streaming.
That could be your internet and what settings you have it on.
I was on 4G.
Are you on your mobile though?
I was on my mobile, but 4G.
Yeah, if you're on your mobile, it streams mobile quality.
Okay, so you got to change the settings. Oh, there you go. But I was watching Beam on my mobile, and it was coming through 4K. Because you got obviously the little phones now. I think they're 4K resolution or whatever.
Are they?
Yeah, the iPhones are.
Yeah,
they're 4K. They're 4K.
Well, I heard it's really good, responsive wise. I mean, the chat is actually faster than what, say you're in a party chat on Xbox Live and you're chatting on Beam at the same time. It actually comes through Beam quicker than Xbox Live.
Someone watched the TXR podcast.
Pretty quick, yeah.
So someone watched the TXR podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, I heard on there. I was like, Macca was talking about it. I was just like, wow, that's pretty advanced. So
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because what I think, could you imagine if you could stream and watch streams at the same time? So you with the single player games, for instance, you could stream with your buddy to each other, and both watch, in the corner, picture in picture, watch his stream while you're playing the same game, or to me, if they can do that, I don't know. At the moment, you can only stream, but if you can watch Beam streams while you're playing, so you could do walkthroughs. But you could you imagine if someone gets a game for the first time, when they do the what do they call them, the walkthroughs when they get a new game? Could you imagine if all their followers could stream it and watch it on their Xbox and play the game with them as they go through the game. They could go through the game at the same time, like people are into that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of possibilities with it being an operating system. Where the devs can use it to their advantage. And like I said, at the moment you can only stream, but if you could watch it on the Xbox too, I reckon that'd be cool. I reckon that will come.
I need to see a lot more. I use Twitch a lot. I watch a lot of hours of Twitch. And when I tried watching Beam, like I usually watch Twitch on my iPad, the Beam app on the iPad was just terrible. Absolutely terrible compared to Twitch. And Twitch, the Twitch has the thing going for it, like it's already established. And I like the emotes in Twitch, like the Kappas and all that kind of stuff is like just really like pop culture at this stage. So they've definitely got a huge uphill battle.
Yeah, they do. Well, a few of those Twitch streamers have got a bit lazy, but if you ask me, I mean, they've got their followers now. They sit there, like I've watched Twitch a couple of them. What's everyone into, And there's some chick on there, playing video games, chewing on a chewy gum. I'm like,
oh yeah, those kind of chicks. Yeah,
I'm not a very good show. These guys, like, they've got their followers. They don't have to. With stream, hopefully stream brings out some people trying to make it entertaining.
Oh, there's a lot of really good entertaining people on Twitch. You just have to find the right people.
What were these chicks wearing? I mean, they don't talk. If they're wearing the right attire, then they don't need to talk.
Well, I know. I mean, in the end of the day, I mean, we've all seen, a chick's, we've seen it. We've seen what I got to watch how I say this.
we know about some of these chicks on Twitch. It's well documented.
They're terrible. It's just that they.
And hey, if you can do that, I'll do it. Good. I'll do it if I could.
I would do it too. I would play video games in my bra any day of the week just to get.
Just do it anyway.
Do it anyway, mate.
Budgie smugglers.
They're pretty strict on like
sexual.
They're pretty strict on that kind of stuff though on Twitch, on sexual content and stuff like that. Yeah. So, like, they might show a bit of cleavage, but it doesn't go any further than that. But kids on the internet, they get excited by that kind of stuff.
I think Bella just left. I think she just left.
Oh no, I'm just sitting here listening. Hashtag absorbing, I guess, all the information I'm hearing right now.
Yeah,
Bella, are you into Beam or you stream much at all?
I don't stream very often. Real Game Media streams pretty much every day, and some days we have around the clock streams. So that is utilizing the different programs available to us and making sure that we switch between the few of them, because some people connect to different programs better. Some people are able to access things on certain devices, Android versus Apple, all that sort of stuff. So it is very important to have the ability to stream on a variety of different devices. Beam seems to be a very stable product and works quite well depending on the device that you're streaming from. However, having said that, I every time I see another one of these ones come out, I'm like, look, Twitch already been gone and done. It's happened. All right, those billions of dollars. I see why you want those billions of dollars. I get it. But it's already being done. It's like YouTube already being done. All right, so just let YouTube be YouTube. It's already happened. And let's move on and just put our focus on the other stuff. But I see why all these big corporations like Microsoft and Sony are trying to put their fingers in the pie, because they want a little bit of those billions of dollars every year as well.
Well, not so much Sony, because they're not in the Beam. So as far as that goes, like that's the other part of the question.
They got YouTube streaming, which we don't have. So
okay.
It is so much easier to stream to YouTube on PlayStation than it is Xbox. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So they've got their sort of thing already, which is probably there.
I think Beam seems like a good way for like Xbox people to get into like streaming and stuff. Yeah. And there's maybe some other technologies behind it, like as you said on the TXR, and they're talking about how the voices come through faster on the stream than the actual party chat. That was very interesting. So maybe there's some technologies in there they might integrate more into the Xbox. Game. But as Bella said, like Twitch has done it. Like Twitch it's there already. And not only is there like the massive streamers on Twitch nearly broadcasts all the major esports tournaments as well. They're partnered everywhere. So
exactly.
Yeah, but it's as well, So
Sorry?
You can Twitch stream from PlayStation as well, like through the operating system.
You can Twitch stream from pretty much anything, anywhere. You can almost Twitch stream from your microwave. Like they've made it very, very universal.
Yeah, you can Twitch.
Is it the same
most of
as
the,
the
most of
Xbox,
the big Twitches, like most of the people that Twitch properly, they go through their PC with like a capture card and stuff like that. That's like the optimal way to do it. Plus, you need great internet.
So has PlayStation got an app where you can do it straight, like anyone can do it?
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when it comes to streaming, then one of the beautiful things that has made it a lot easier for Xbox gamers recently is the updates that have been done to just how easy it is if you are a Windows 10 gamer that happens to be playing on Xbox and playing Xbox Play Anywhere titles and stuff like that. It's a couple of clicks of a button now and you're streaming, whereas before, like setting up OBS and stuff like that was like a nightmare. That shit was like seriously convoluted. They fixed that, so that's
and what's the delay like on YouTube for streaming? But obviously the beam's pretty good.
Oh, there's no delay on YouTube. The delay that you get is on Twitch.
Okay. There you go. Well, anyway, I just think it's only early days with Beam, and I've been in the operating system's obviously a good thing. So I just hopefully, for me, I just hope you can stream and beam, stream and beam,
stream
and watch streams at the same time. That'd be fucking awesome. Because I remember Ghost Recon. Going back to Ghost Recon, they had the little screen in the corner where you could watch what your buddy was doing when you're playing a multiplayer game. You could see what they could see. I mean, that'd be sweet if you could do that. So.
Anyway. Cool. More options, more accessibility.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So
I suppose we better ask Doug what he wants to talk about next. We're fucking getting through the topics, but so what's he want to talk about now? I'll ask him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but we have been told by Xbox that Scorpio won't have exclusive titles in the near future. But is this really a big deal? Did previous generations have a lot of console exclusives straight up? Third-party developers always have made two versions of games, one for the previous console generation and one for the new.
Well, it's an interesting one. We've always been told that every game on the Scorpio will be playable on the Xbox One, so I'm not too sure. I think eventually there'll be some exclusives just for Scorpio. Straight away, maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. It's so
well, they've already said no. Hey? So they've already said no.
They also said Quantum Break was only going to be on Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some.
I hope so.
Going to be some.
Well, they'll have exclusive VR titles if that's still a thing. But there probably could be some games that come over from PC.
Yeah,
that will only be on the Scorpio. Well, I could see that happening maybe.
The thing is that after all of the convoluted messaging that Microsoft have put out over the past couple of years, actually even more than that, probably the last 4 years, of how they've said that certain things will and won't happen, and then they've done the reverse. Certain games will release here and won't release there, and then they've done the reverse. They have literally started the marketing and supported that marketing for the Scorpio in saying that anything apart from VR experiences that you can buy on the Scorpio, you will be able to play on the Xbox One. There will be no division in the community. If they go back on that at any point within probably 2 years of the release of the Scorpio, I'm pretty sure that will be the straw that breaks the camel's back for a lot of supporters.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I look at the Scorpio and even the PS4 Pro, how that's backwards compatible. And since when have you been able to buy a new console and have all your games go with you? I mean, I think it's a good thing. And if they make exclusives, at the end of the day, who's missing out? The guy who had an Xbox One anyway. Like hasn't spent any more money. He's missed out on the game because it's only on Scorpio. But the guy who spent the money on Scorpio is getting a benefit. The guy who's stuck with the console he's already got, and whoever decides to upgrade to a Scorpio is take all his games with him. So You know, I don't know. I just think if they do it within 2 years, that's a long time. If people are starting to buy Scorpio, I mean, how long do they take to make exclusive games on Xbox One? It was Ryse the day one exclusive on Xbox One.
Yeah, but
Ryse, they're
not going to do something like that because they don't want to split the player base.
Yeah,
because like even though I think Scorpio will be successful, probably in the long run, like depending on the price point, how many people are going to pick that up within like the first year? Who knows? Like definitely over a few million, but you know, like especially earlier on in the Xbox days, even now, especially living in Australia, like the population is just not there. Like,
that's right. So
if you make it even smaller with the Scorpio, you're not going to find games. It's already hard enough to find games in like on good connection in like Halo and Gears and stuff like that without having to search for Americans. So if the player base is even smaller, you're not going to find anyone.
I mean, a showcase game would be nice, like, you know, just to show off the power and, you know, exclusive to Scorpio. But they've already said they're not going to do it, and they definitely won't do it in the first 6 months. But, I mean, if anyone complains about that, they actually, if you go back and look at what Microsoft say, it's a lot in interpretation because they said that every Xbox One game you've got now will be playable on the Scorpio. They didn't say that Xbox One games, games made after Scorpio's release will be playable on the Xbox One. They're talking about before.
Yeah, I think the whole no one will be left behind talk. They've stuck in people's minds.
Well, you're not left behind, but
I don't know. Like, I know. I mean, if you buy Scorpio, you are gonna be able to bring all your Xbox One games across. So in a way, they're correct. I'd like to see. I would like to see maybe give it 12 months or so. See a Scorpio exclusive, just to showcase what the because when they make two versions of the game, obviously there's limitations there. If it was exclusive, I would like to see what the console itself can do. You know what I mean? Like, when they make one just for the Xbox One, it looks so much better than what it would if it was like 360 and Xbox One. You know what I mean? So,
well, they don't have to make two versions anyway now because UWP, it's pretty much the same game. It's just going to be upscaled or whatever.
I think they're going for like a PC kind of thing where if you got a good PC, you get the good graphics, you got a shit PC, you play on like the low res graphics and they'll just go from there. I wouldn't expect any exclusives until, I don't know, maybe after like PS5 drops, like depending on when the next Xbox drops after Scorpio, but PS5 will probably come out, I'll probably say maybe end of 2018, depends on what Sony's kind of thinking right now, maybe 2019 and then maybe 2020 for like the next Xbox. So, but even if the PS5 drops then, they'll probably still do like that kind of across generations kind of games for at least a year. So it could be, who knows? Yeah. If you get like a game, maybe like, I've heard some talks about World of Warcraft coming, maybe like something like that would be like an exclusive just to the Scorpio. But I think they're going to stick with like, hey, if you want to play the game on like your Xbox One S or your OG Xbox One, here you go. If you want to play the game at like a lot better, play it on your Scorpio.
Yeah, they'll find a way. They'll find a way of doing exclusives for Scorpio, I think.
I hope so.
Definitely, there'll be a way they'll do it. Whether it's through just content, Scorpio only content, who knows?
Yeah, it could be Scorpio. It could be Scorpio only content, or like maybe like indie games that only run on Scorpio. Maybe I don't think they'll do it with any first-party games.
Yeah, no, not for a while anyway. Yeah, like I'm sure if there was a Halo 6, they'll make it for both, and then Halo 7, and that kind of thing. Forza. Mind you, I'd like to see them. I think they were talking about a little bit different, but they were talking about on Twitter today, like Tim and the boys were talking about maybe it'd be a good idea to put Scorpio have a launch title of Forza Horizon 6 in beautiful 4K. It'd be nice.
It will be. Forza Horizon 3.
Sorry,
great showcase.
Will definitely be a 4K game. Yeah. I've seen it on the PC. It looks better, but it's not like it's. Yeah, it's like definitely a difference, but it's not like it's going to melt your face difference. It still looks pretty good on the Xbox. Better than what I thought the Xbox could actually do.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the games the way they look now. To be honest, like I just want more content in the games. Like you look at GTA. I just want more cars driving around. I just want more people on the street. I don't give a fuck about the graphics. So I buy a 4K TV because I want because they're the newest thing. But if I want power now, I just go out and buy a PC. Like I don't want to buy a PC. I like the look of Gears 4. I like the way that Forza Horizon 3 looks. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So I just want more stuff in my games, really. And that's what I want from Scorpio. That's why I want Scorpio exclusives. Or like you said, Mega, like more content. Maybe not DLC, but just more in the game.
Yeah.
So if you buy
more
the
detail,
Xbox,
more
more
graphical,
things.
obviously graphical. Hey, what's that?
More things to the layman.
No, yeah, more things.
More blades of grass.
So,
but
I love the Scorpio. Like people bag it out, and they say like people worried about the price of this Scorpio. Since when have you been able to buy a console and take all your games with you? The next gen, it's a next gen console.
Yeah.
If you ask me, and like you're taking all your games with you, you're taking your controller. Since when have you been able to take your fucking controller with you the next gen? I mean, it's a bargain, really. You buy a console, day one, your whole games library is there ready to play. Same with the PS4 Pro, I suppose. It's the same thing. It's not like you're starting again. I remember when you bought the first generation or the next generation of a console in the past, you'd have to buy 3 fucking games with it. So, a $400 console ended up being $700 because you bought 3 games and you bought an extra controller. So there's another $100.
Extension lead.
and then you're waiting for the games you actually want.
Yeah, and then you wait another 6 months, because they string them out. And the release games are always piss poor. So, guys,
you're just like, when's Halo coming out?
Is a fucking bargain. There you go.
Yeah,
And look, give it to PS4 Pro too. I mean, it's the same thing. It's backwards compatible. Can you use your controller on that as well, Bella?
Yeah, I think it's the same controller. Bella, I don't think Bella's back yet. She had to go for a sec.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
So, I think you can use the same controller. Yeah.
Yeah, you can you can use a DualShock 4. Unfortunately, I wish the DualShock 4 was the Xbox controller, though. That is one of my major gripes about the PlayStation is the controller, particularly for somebody who is an Elite controller owner, which anybody who has held an Elite controller in their hands knows that is like the epitome of architecture in controllers. And so you go from that to picking up a DualShock 4 and you feel like you're playing with, how kids get like given fake consoles that aren't really consoles,
fake phone.
Exactly. It kind of feels like you're playing with a controller that's off one of those. Yeah. You do get used to the DualShock 4 after a little while, but it literally does feel like a kid's toy, and that is my biggest problem with the PlayStation 4. If they could give me an Xbox type controller, or just a controller that felt well built and the analog sticks felt slightly more accurate on, I would be totally happy.
Yeah.
But I was actually surprised when I picked up the PlayStation, the DualShock 4 controller for the first time. I was like, what is this?
Like, what is this?
I was like, is this the controller that everyone was praising to be awesome? Or was that just compared to the DualShock 3? Because that controller must have been terrible then. I was like, it actually puts me off playing PlayStation because I just dislike the controller so much. I got an Elite controller as well, so
I mean, you do get used to it, but one of my biggest issues, apart from like the sheer lack of architecture in it, is the X button is a different button, and it confuses the fuck out of me. I'm like, no, I pressed X. Oh no, I pressed the square button. Damn it.
Yeah. And Bella, what's the Bella? One of the biggest gripes is the battery life on that thing. What's it?
Yeah.
I don't own one, but what's it like with the battery life on that thing?
Oh God. Okay, so it depends on whether you're running a wireless headset or whether you're running a headset that is connected through the controller, because that will obviously also then affect the life expectancy that you get out of the battery.
Yep.
But yeah, I can be playing for like 4 or 5 hours because I have a wireless headset and I'll be fine. And then I can see when I pause and it'll come up with a battery life, I'm like, oh shit, I really need to start thinking about charging this thing. And the problem is if you're playing a game like, for example, Final Fantasy, I played that on the PlayStation because as far as I'm concerned, that's where Final Fantasy belongs. And I would play that sometimes. I think the most amount of hours I played that in one sitting was 16 hours.
Wow.
So I was tethered to my controller, to my console for like a lot of the day because, you know, it's going flat all the time. And I'm just like, oh. And you want to be able to get up and move around. And if you don't have a wireless headset, it's a pain. And I think one of the biggest mistakes they ever made was not allowing you to have the option to have the charge pack or batteries.
Yeah.
Everyone says that about the Xbox controller. They're like, "Oh, this comes with batteries. It's crap." But if you get the plain charge kit, like,
I'll just put rechargeable batteries in it.
I charge it like every 3 or 4 days, and I play a lot. But I'll just jump on and just plug it in for like the first hour I play, and then it's like fully charged for the next few days. It's great. I hardly ever charge it.
I'm the same.
You get slightly better latency when you plug it in. Sorry, Greg, I was cutting you off.
Oh, you're right, man. I was going to say.
I was just saying, you get better. Oh, I've done it again. Fuck, sorry, man. That's him fucking phone up. So
you go ahead. I'll shut up.
No, you go, man. I was just gonna.
I was going to say, I literally get like 3 or 4 days worth of play out of that Xbox charge kit, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
And you know, the amount of shit that people post about batteries about the Xbox controller. I mean, I'd rather have those sort of batteries that last that long than a 4 or 5 hour battery life on a rechargeable controller. So,
well, I mean, I only bought Elite this year, you know, and the amount of games I bought this year, like, there's no way I would have bought an Elite controller and the amount of games I bought over the last 6 months. I didn't think Scorpio was forward compatible with those games. Like, I was never going to spend $200 on a controller if I couldn't play it on the Scorpio. So,
just wait to E3 when they announce the Elite 2.0, and then get a whole new control. They need to as well. The current Elite's garbage. It breaks, as I said last week.
Actually, it's got
defects.
The next day, man, my fucking bumper was like out a little bit, and I'm like, "Fuck." Smiley fucking said that last night, man. It was out. It was out, man. So I clicked it back in like really carefully. I clicked it back in and like clicked back in really nicely. I'm like, "Oh, thank fuck."
No, it's when it it's like it pushes in, and so you don't get the click on it anymore.
Oh, it was actually hanging out. I don't know how. Fucking one of my kids or someone must have dropped it or something. But I'll lock it up.
I found like my mate Cop, who I game share with, was cracking it the other night because his grips are peeling off, and that's his second controller because his right bumper broke. So he's like, "Now I'm gonna have to take this one back," and I don't know.
I don't get that. I don't get how people have controllers that go through that kind of damage. Like I'm the sort of person who, even during the week, and I have a full-time job and run a gaming network and work for a development studio, and I still game for 3 to 4 hours every night and at least a collection of anywhere from 10 to 15 hours on the weekend. I have never had a controller do that.
Yeah, I know a few people that their grips have peeled off. Maybe they're just not suited for the Australian heat or something. One of them lives in Perth and then the other lives in Queensland. But then, as I said last week, I know a lot of people who play Halo and they played the bumper jumper control figure where their left bumper is broken. I probably know over 20 people where their left bumper is broken.
And I think a lot of the issue comes down from the fact that just because you press it in harder doesn't mean you're going to get a better response in your gaming.
Yeah, but these are hardcore people. They spam it.
Softer the better with your fingers,
a lot. Girls. But it shouldn't be breaking, you know. It's a premium controller. And the part that actually breaks on it is just this tiny little plastic bit that connects the bumper to the controller, because my one broke as well. I had to get a new controller. But it shouldn't be happening. It's a premium product. It's like $200 Australian. It shouldn't be doing that.
No, that's right.
I agree, but there's also a certain way that a thing like that should be treated. You could understand it's a very small device with very small parts. that are going to be susceptible to damage if you hammer on them every 3 minutes because you're like, how did I lose that shot? You cheated. It's
Smashing on the
lag.
ground.
Brum, 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 and you're taking it out of your controller. Then, yeah.
But I didn't hear anyone having the same problem with the original, like the controller that comes with the console or anything like that. So it seems like it's, from my knowledge, just an Elite controller issue. I think it's pretty unacceptable.
I've had absolutely no issue with mine at all. So I guess different people, different experiences.
My new one's
I've
fine.
been lucky, I
I've
guess.
had my new one for ages, but yeah, my other one broke. So that was really a pain in the ass.
There you go.
Oh, well, there you go.
You guys right to keep going? Like,
Yeah, you want to go? Yeah, for another 5 minutes would be cool. Yeah.
Doug got another question?
No, he's got heaps of questions. He's mate, give him a leg at the moment. But, all right, it's all right. We'll get him. We'll get another one going.
Great show so far, guys. You are all fucking late. Now, E3, it will be here before you know it. Apart from Project Scorpio, I'm interested in what you hope they will show or announce this year.
Yeah, well, this could go on forever. No. Well, we'll probably make
Well, it's all about Scorpio, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're all hoping
from
they'll show
Scorpio. This
something.
comes from Max Power or Mick. He put this question. He couldn't make it tonight. He had to work. I don't know what his job is. He must get called in at the last minute. So he bailed on us. So shout out to Mick. And shout out to Jesse too for your appearance on the podcast the last couple of weeks. Or last week, sorry, especially. So we'll get it back on another day. But
what was the question? What do you think is going to be at E3?
What do you want shown at E3 or announced other than Scorpio? So
I think they should do an event prior to E3, maybe in May, and show Scorpio and show all the games we already know about, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, all these titles. Yeah. And then at E3, show us mostly new stuff that we don't know about. Like, I think at E3, we're going to see maybe a Halo 6 teaser. Yeah. We'll probably see Ori and the Blind Forest 2. And then, I don't know what else. I just don't want to see Cuphead again. All these games that I've been seeing for the last 3 or 4 years, I don't want to see them again. I want to see something new.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see new games. I mean, obviously the mainstays. Maybe, I'm sure there'll be some sort of Forza thing going on. Maybe a Halo. I don't know. Halo. I think Phil alluded to maybe no Halo this year, but
yeah, they usually with Halo they usually do like a short CGI teaser, like the year before it comes out. Yeah. So because it'll be out next year, and like it's on a 3-year development cycle. So I do a teaser, and then next year they'll show some gameplay. And then it'll come out.
I can absolutely 100% guarantee you that Halo 6 development is full underway.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I'm very happy about that.
Hopefully we get a Halo 2 anniversary. That's what I really want to see.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, a few people want that.
Hey, I don't know. What about you, Bella? What do you reckon?
Yeah,
at E3, you're a bit more in the know. So, any ideas?
Pardon?
Any ideas what you think they'll show at E3?
Yeah, but nothing I can talk about. There's things I know that I would like to see. But I think at the end of the day, the majority of people, they just want to be wowed. They don't care whether they see stuff they already knew about or whether it's a new IP. They just want to be wowed. And that is why a lot of the time people will walk away feeling like Xbox has won the PlayStation, won over PlayStation at E3 because of the way they go about presenting their conferences.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good. I didn't watch the PlayStation one. I'm not interested in Xbox. I didn't even watch the PlayStation one, but
which I find is really, really, really interesting for people who want to talk about how great the and I know it sounds like a criticism, and it's actually not, but it's just a general statement. I find it really amusing that people will only watch the Xbox presser and talk about how great it was and how they won E3, but they didn't watch the PlayStation presser.
I usually watch them all.
I didn't say that, but I just
Yeah,
I don't know who won E3. It's not a fucking grand final. Like, where's the scoreboard? Oh, they won E3. Yeah, is it a competition? Like, I know it's
of course it's a competition.
Thing.
They're corporations. They're in it.
I mean, I think that the PlayStation people are catering to their fans and trying to get new people, obviously, and the Xbox guys are catering to their fans. You know, like those guys are having beers out at the back after the fucking show. You know,
I don't want to see 20 minutes on Minecraft. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was disappointing. But then again, they're catering to that Minecraft audience that they have.
They have a Minecraft event every year, so if they want to do Minecraft stuff, they should do that.
It is pretty big. Well, I'm just hoping they show games that will release within like at least an 8 to 12 month period. I don't want to be waiting 2 years for a game. You know, you get hyped up and you get caught up in the hype, and then you're like, oh, okay, it was 2 years away. I want it to be released 6 to 12 months. I'll be happy to wait that length of time. You know. Sick of waiting
before next E3.
Yeah, the games that they release, the games that they show at E3 have to be out before the next E3.
Yeah,
they have got to.
That's pretty simple.
How I mean, you could probably, maybe one or two big ones, but they've got to be 12 months.
I mean, they could show a little bit, maybe like if something that's in development in early stages as well. But but like a 5-minute video. Or not even that, a 2-minute video of this game. This is what we're making, and it'll be released, whatever. But not do a fucking 30-minute video on it.
Yeah. A lot of conferences get criticism, and online about games waiting 2.5 years for a game to come out. It's ridiculous. So,
well, it's a marketing strategy, isn't it? Because you're selling consoles.
Yeah.
So, the average guy sees a video. Oh, look at that. That's coming out in PlayStation. I might go to PlayStation. That's got some. That game looks cool. I always bought consoles based on games when I was younger. I'm not flying into it, but I remember Destruction Derby was the reason I bought PlayStation 1 solely because of that game. So people see games, and the casual guys, they put me back into the way I used to sort of think. I would see a game and go, "Oh, I'm just going to buy a PlayStation for that game, or I'm going to buy an Xbox for that game." So it does happen. People just get that, that want of something.
Yeah.
So they make it happen, but that's why they do it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're the same with me. I want new games. New games. Show the games that are coming out in the last 6 months of the year, or whatever it is, 7 months, and what's coming out before E3 next year, and maybe a couple of minute video on some stuff they're working on down the track. And no Minecraft. That was pretty bad. That went too long. So I'm with you, Smiley, on that. But and maybe some features, new features, maybe what they're doing with Beam, little things like that.
Yeah, Microsoft's usually pretty good. They usually show off some new features and stuff like that, which is I like.
An operating system, like the user interface, or whatever.
I'd love to wow us all and us Xbox people anyway, and come out and say that Call of Duty marketing's come back is going to come in when Scorpio comes in. That'd rock the world big time.
You really want that Call of Duty marketing, don't you?
Well, I mean, on the upside of things, Activision have announced that the next installment, which is obviously this year's installment in the franchise, will be going back to its roots. So there is that.
Yes, I've caught up on that. That'll keep a lot of people happy, no doubt. Whether it's still going to be futuristic, or are they going to go back to World War II or one sort of thing, but.
I think they're doing Vietnam. That could be just a rumor, though.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Look, it's a good thing. I mean, they've done the futuristic thing for 3 or 4 years in a row now. I'm happy with any era. I don't care where it's based or set, as long as I got good maps, good connection, and some good decent streaks. I'm happy with any Call of Duty. So, I don't know about you, Bella. What do you think? Were you happy to go back to old school, or are you happy with futuristic boots on the ground sort of stuff?
No, it should have never left boots on the ground.
Yeah, I guess they had to try, like the last couple of years.
No, they really didn't. They really didn't. But they
But I suppose because you were pretty crap at Advanced Warfare, I understand. I'm only kidding. Actually, no.
Wow.
You're right. You know, about halfway through the match, I like literally collapsed under having to carry you the entire way. So yeah, it's only so much one person can do.
Actually, for those who don't know, me and Bella played a few nights together there, and she's a pretty good player. So I must give her credit on that. She's pretty good. I mean,
actually, a lot of girls are good players.
She finished under me a few times, but she's pretty good.
I'm just gonna let you get away with that.
Well, I have to get her on a real FPS one day and see how good she is.
Ooh, those words.
What do you constitute as a real FPS?
It should be pretty obvious at this point. Halo.
That's your version of real FPS.
Well, I don't have a computer, so I can't play Counter-Strike, but I'd probably consider Counter-Strike the pinnacle of FPS.
Yeah, I don't know whether I've seen Halo on Bella playing Halo before. You big fan?
I finished the Halo 5 campaign probably about 3 or 4 months ago, actually. So.
Oh yeah.
And that was the last one that I needed to. Yeah, I play a bit of multiplayer here and there. I don't play it too much because it's just. I'm not big on the futuristic shit. There is a degree that I will tolerate it. Like the multiplayer in Halo 3, for example, absolutely loved it. Loved the sword. Like that was my favorite weapon in the game. It's just there's a point that it gets too futuristic for me, and that isn't my preferred way of playing a shooter. I like having something where I can communicate as a team on the ground and we can strategize and move together and clean out the enemy forces without having to worry about if my gravity boots are functioning.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like if someone is really good at these boosting style games like Call of Duty and Infinite Warfare and stuff, if they're really good at it and they master it, it is very hard to take them out. I find I struggle with guys who are just super, super good at boosting around. Where if it's boosted to the ground, I have a bit more of a chance. But when the guys are you don't even see them, and you're thinking, shit, where do they come from? And you watch the kill cam, and you think, man, where did he come from? So when I agree. When a player masters that boosting style, mid-air strafing kind of stuff, I mean, they're very hard to combat against. I must admit.
It's like you stand there like there's Superman. You're like, oh, there's one. And next to me, jumps over your head and shoots you in the head. And you're sort of like a mage. You're like, fuck, who is that guy?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So, I'm excited I'm definitely excited for the next. I'm always excited for each Call of Duty, but I'm very, very keen interest in the next one. If it's more traditional, like boots to the ground, doesn't matter what era it's in, but if it's boots to the ground, I'm happy with that. So,
yeah.
So
no, I agree. I agree. It's one of those things. So
sorry, but can I interrupt? Okay, guys, I think we should wrap this up. Now tell everyone where they can find you, and let's get the fuck out of here. You can find me, Dougie, on Twitter. Just search Twitter handle at Dougie from Doug. Over to you, Bella. Ladies first.
Well, thank you for having me on this very uncouth edition of Doug. It was phenomenal.
Professional as it gets.
I got way too much shit going on here. I'll tell you right now. I should take a photo and fucking put it on Twitter. But anyway, keep going. Sorry, Bella.
Yeah, well, if you could merge all of that into one piece of technology, you wouldn't have to bootleg it.
Man, I'm going to put it on Twitter. It's fucking hilarious. Complete with the current draft.
Thank you very much for having me on here. It's always nice to talk to fellow Australians about the state of gaming and what we're all enjoying here. And yeah, I guess if you want to read more about my opinions on games, you can find me at www.realgamemedia.com. I'm the editor-in-chief over there. If you're interested in what I do in the games development industry, you can check out what we're doing at Cerealin LLC. At the moment, we have a game that is up on Steam on several different VR devices, and another game that is in early access at the moment, which is a tactical shooter called Epsilon.
Nice. We'll definitely check that one out.
Thanks, Bella.
You're welcome.
It's good to have you here, Bella.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you coming on, and the boys were pretty excited to have you on too. So,
You're very welcome. If I wasn't
especially Doug.
if I probably
Mate, don't
wouldn't
take
be
much
as
to see it, Doug is
irritable as
excited.
what I am if I hadn't been bitten by a spider the other night, and like my entire nearly one whole half of my body is just like black and blue and purple and bruises.
Damn.
So I am getting
one
a
of those
little bit.
taipan spiders, or
I don't know what it was. I know that it bit me and I squished it, and it was just
it was
a
a
pile of
whitetail.
goo. And then not long afterwards, I was hospitalized. So yeah, I'm a tad irritable tonight. I don't know why. But
last week we were talking about Australian animals and shit, and how they're only spiders and snakes, and who gives a fuck about them? They run away. And then you come on the show this week and you've been bitten by a fucking spider. And yeah, I've seen the photos. It's pretty horrific. So
yeah,
it's a whitetail.
Photos, but I didn't know.
Was that your arm, by the way?
Yeah. So the main bruise itself is at the base of my elbow and runs all the way up to my wrist, and then it's somehow managed to wrap around from the bottom of my elbow all the way up to my shoulder and up around through the base of my neck. So yeah.
Did the guys at the hospital have any idea maybe what spider it was?
Yeah, they speculated, but I was at the point when I got there that I wasn't able to even give them a slight idea. Like my tongue was a little bit swallowed. I was talking about like this and stuff. So
yeah. Oh well.
I just everything's numb.
Oh, I'm glad you're on the mend anyway. I had no idea that it happened until right now. So
yeah, I hadn't made it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't tell anyone. Did I? I sort of mentioned it earlier.
I didn't make it a social thing, but thank you for doing that for me.
I did check with you. I did check with you. You said okay. I got the proof on my Twitter. But like Mick, honestly, or Max Power, like we've got Bella here coming in with spider bites, and you couldn't make it for half an hour. Like I'm just saying. So, all right.
Some Aussies are tougher than others, particularly females.
Females are the toughest people on the face of the planet, if you ask me. So
stop sucking up.
I'm not. No. Man, the female Australians are notorious around the world for being just hard asses. So you American boys, you don't know how good you got it over there, I'll tell you. So, but no, I'm only joking. So Mega, catch you on.
Yeah, you'll catch me on Twitter mainly, Mega Bad Seed, and I do have a little YouTube channel, Mega Bad Seed as well. So
that's a great channel.
And other places you can catch him is in the corner of Call of Duty.
Yeah, yes. Oh, you might find me on Bella's stream one day. So
well, I want to get on Bella's GTA stream. That'd be fucking. That'll go viral. But anyway, sorry. Continue.
So yeah, so you can catch me on there anyway. Mega Bad Seed on Twitter and Mega Bad Seed on YouTube. So that's me basically. Nothing else.
Check out his videos; they're pretty cool. I like them. He's actually got me sold on Infinite Warfare, so I haven't bought a COD game for a few games.
Why are you talking anybody into buying that? You know what? Let's not even go there.
Have you played it?
Yeah, I played it. And then I immediately deleted it from my console because I was worried it would infect the other good games on my console.
Oh, that's a whole other podcast.
You didn't play it for long enough. I tell people once you get to around rank 15, 20, the game gets good because you get better yourself. So,
are you talking about Infinite Warfare?
I don't need to get better. I start better.
It's awesome.
That's hilarious.
Remasters ass anyway.
You sound like you're talking about that VR now. Like you don't know until you fucking play it for like 3 hours. then you love it. You'll fall in love with it. Trust me.
It's funny when I ask people what rank they are. They go, "Oh, I'm like rank 5." I'm like, "We get that rank 5 in the first 2 games." So
they honestly loved it.
Yeah,
no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, give it time. It's good. A lot of people actually moved over to it. They realised it was actually pretty decent. So,
yeah, look, I'm looking at your videos, man. I watch them, and I'm starting to think I might get it, especially now it's cheaper. And
yeah, it's pretty cheap now. Yeah,
I like that sort of. The kids are really good at it these days. I reckon my reaction times are slowed down.
No excuses. Well, there's excuses, mate.
Hey, man,
but now I've got the elite controller, mate. I should have some sort of advantage. So fucking let's get back in there, back in the COD.
Get in there. Don't be a pussy. Get in there.
And I'm not being a pussy. Smile. Well, I probably am, really, aren't I? I just don't like getting my ass kicked for fucking 3
I think
hours
Bella's
a
been a
night.
bit of a pussy too. So
Yeah, fucking spider bites. Why are you complaining?
go,
about
Smiley,
it?
you're
Half
up,
your body's
Smiley.
paralysed.
Yeah. You just find me at @Smiley_police on Twitter. That's basically the only place I'm kind of hanging around.
Yep, and I've got all the links in the bottom
Cool.
of the description for our 5 viewers. So, but we got a few viewers last week. We had 78, and I wanted to shout out to everyone on Twitter and that. Like everyone's been sending me direct messages, and we've got Lady Foxfire and Timus in the chat, and a few other guys that were there last week. But yeah, I'm getting heaps of support off everyone. So I probably should pass it on to you guys. But yeah, I've been getting direct messages of
good.
people saying, yeah, good job, enjoyed the podcast. So
That's all right, man. You can take all the praises.
that's it. But we might swap the channel around. If you can operate 3 iPhones, an iPad, a laptop, and a wireless keyboard, Mega, maybe you can do it from your channel next week.
or you could just
just
get a decent PC and just do it off that.
Right?
Mate,
Just like
this is
simplify shit and have a microphone and PC. Bam, you're done.
Well, you know what? I'm what's it called? I'm fucked if I know. Don't worry about it. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. But anyway, guys, well, we should be back next week. You guys coming back next week? I'll put you on the spot right now.
Yeah.
Bella may not be back, but if you want to come back, Bella, you can. So
I
Smiley's
appreciate
back.
The offer, thank you very much.
You don't have to. Like, we obviously need to get you on around.
I didn't commit to anything. I just said I appreciate the offer.
We'll have to get you on around E3 because obviously you're going to have all the goss.
I will probably be there, so that might be problematic, but we can discuss
Just
that.
use your mobile phones like us. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, no, I don't boot lead. I don't boot lead. Yeah, we'll discuss
Well,
this
Bella, we
later.
watched. We watched E3 together, or was that Gamescom?
That was Gamescom.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So yeah, thanks guys, and we should be back probably Tuesday next week sometime. I've got to work out how to end this now before I start doing the outro.
See that big red button that says stop? Press it.
Super professional.
Which screen am I looking at? I've got like 80 screens in front of me. I feel like I'm at fucking NASA or something. All right.
And on that note, this has been another Down Under Gaming podcast.